a very good evening to you. I am Griffin Epstein. Behind me is the Petaluma High student section here for a raucous atmosphere as the Petaluma Trojans battle the Casa Grande Gauchos in an absolutely packed Casa Grande gym. This place is absolutely rocking with tons of spirit. It's East Side versus West Side. The Trojans have taken 3 straight regular season matchups against the they're 2 straight. They're looking to make a 3rd straight tonight, and the Trojans come in 2-3. The Gauchos 1-4. Both teams have had tough non-conference schedules to start some tournaments. They are both talented, but no matter the records, this matchup matters so much. Casa has dominated this rivalry for a long time, but it has shifted in the last few years towards the Trojans. An experienced Trojan team looks to continue it. It's a younger team for the Gauchos, but these matchups are always close. It was a battle last year, but the Trojans pulled away. We'll see how it turns out this year. We are here at the Casa Grande gym. Should be a lot of fun. The full game, Petaluma High, Casa Grande. It's the boys varsity basketball Egg Bowl, and it is next.
The final notes of the national anthem ringing. This place is hopping for what should be a wonderful 32 minutes of basketball. Trojans opened up, dominating Terralinda 69-40. They had a disappointing loss to Novato. They played their worst game of the year, a 48-42 loss. They woke up, defeated Santa Rosa 59-40 in the first round of the Rose City tournament. They were blown out by an extremely good Cardinal Newman team, 55-32, before a really exciting game, which is on our YouTube channel. 3rd place game of the Rosewood tournament, where they fell 49-46. The Trojan student section is already easily beating the Casa Grande student section in terms of spirit, but that's not where it happens. Both teams with a lot of tough losses, so besides the huge rivalry, this one is huge just in terms of everything else that comes with it. With both teams trying to get confidence. Casa the opening tip and a quick foul. That will not count. I don't know how well you can hear me. It is just crazy in here. They're going to call a foul on the floor. Gaucho's coach is Jake Lee. Hasn't been here too long. He's pretty young. And the Gaucho, not to criticize him, but the Gaucho basketball program has fallen in the last few years. They had a rough year last year, only won one league game the entire season long. And it's felt like maybe that Petaluma's the place to be if you want to play basketball. But this is how it's truly decided. Again, I apologize for any poor camera work tonight, but it's what we are dealing with. Drive in by Soretti. And then another foul on the Trojans, and they need to be careful with that. They have had some foul issues. They saw it against Redwood early in that game. They got into some trouble, and they got into some foul trouble, sent Redwood a lot to the line, and a 3-point goal game against an elite at Redwood team really hurt them in the end, but they played really well. They seem to be playing really good basketball, and now an offensive foul here. Trojans will take back over. Well, this is what high school basketball is all about. This is roaring stands on both sides. It is truly something special. O'Neal gives it off to Anderson. Ellis, Anderson, Gottschall, O'Neal, and Davis, the starting 5 for the Trojans in black, Casa in white. Gottschall driving and pump fake, and he went to the line for 2. Devin Gottschall is the team captain for the Trojans and a truly exceptional player. He leads the team in scoring at a double-double in their loss against Novato. He's Mr. Reliable most of the time. He will get 10 points for the Trojans, seemingly no matter what. Through all the noise, he sticks both like he's been there a million times with all of experience also on the varsity baseball team. He has been there. And that's a silly foul on the Trojans. And just on the inbounds. And they've got to quell their emotion here with this place rocking. And obviously it's so big, but you have to control yourself. Good press. They throw it up for Soretti. Good defense by Wolbert, who's in there as the other guard. Not Davis, I'm sorry. But great defense by Wolbert, and then the Trojans turn it over. Swing it out, Soretti's been active early, and he hits. And the Gauchos strike first, to the delight of their fans. Again, apologies for the the poor camera work. Wolbert taking his time. Brendan O'Neill, last year's team captain. Had some struggles this year, but comes up with the plays that maybe you don't always see in the stat sheet. Trojans patient. Gottschall, what a move to the rack, and he lays it in. That is so impressive from Devin Gottschall. He's come to play in his final Egg Bowl game. As we mentioned, Trojans have taken the last two after they had a 12-game losing streak to the Trojans. Truly remarkable. Gottschall takes the bump, and the Gauchos back out. This team could score, but had a really not a very good loss to Alameda in their last game. Maybe looking ahead a little bit. Three ball is off the mark from Jovic. Josh Jovic can't hit. Good zone defense by the Trojans, who have continued to play good defense against everyone they play. David Newman only limited them to 51 points. Maybe the best team in the North Bay. Back to the well, and Gottschall. And Devin Gottschall, wow, so far, he is controlling the paint. And Jack Anderson has been that man recently, but Gottschall, 6 points to start. Trojan student section chanting, "We cannot hear you." And then an offensive foul again. Wolbert taking his time. Good hands there. That was A.J. Cole with the steal for the Gauchos. Lots of turnovers, and they're going to call a foul there. I don't know about that. Ellis and Anderson were both in there. A lot of ball. Might have called it on the body. (6-3), and right now it's a complete battle chant as the three throw is good by Goronsky. Also, he's on the football team, and when I called the football Egg Bowl, it's the Trojans won 20-14. Couldn't pronounce it either. Still can't. He hits both 6-5. Whitaker Ellis, what an opening game he had against Taylor Linda. Put up 15 points in that one. But he's cooled off a little bit since. But the Trojans have started to realize that they thought they'd have a size disadvantage this year. And they found Gottschall, speaking of, has been pretty reliable on that one. Just rimmed out. Gauchos take back over. Gaucho cheerleaders here along with their student section. In the Trojans student section, they brought the flag, which I actually remember was out after the Trojans Egg Bowl victory, and it's quite something so far. We are 3 minutes into the first quarter here. It's Casa 6, Petaluma 5. This is Soretti, and he's been outstanding. Well, he jinxes me right there, and not a good-looking pass. Looking for Garib Sabels, and threw it behind him. It was a nice-looking play, and he would have had a wide-open layup, but he just missed it. Ellis got it, and that's huge for the Trojans. Ellis is really gone cold, but he makes the nice shot there, and it is now 9-5. Crossover, but hounding defense by the Trojans. Anderson altered that shot, and something like that's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but Anderson's great height gets it, and a good save by Wolbert as well. Trojans take back over halfway through this first quarter. Ellis looks behind him for head coach Scott Bear's call, and the Trojans are back on offense. Head coach Scott Bears in his third year, and he has not lost to Casa in a regular season game. However, the Trojans did play them last year right here in the Brett Callahan tournament in the 7th place game, and the Trojans did lose that one by 1 point. Foul on Soretti with Gottschall going up. And that will be the third foul on Casa. Trojans are already up to 4. It's been very physical to start here. We expect to be a lot of fouls, and Robbie Izetta, the junior, will enter. Wilbert takes a seat. Izetta, the only returning junior on this varsity squad, so experienced with 8 returning players, including 7 seniors. 3 ball off the mark from Ellis, but he is feeling it right now, outpacing the camera and laying it in was Cole. Nice move from A.J. Cole. 9-7, Trojans lead by 2. We'll probably lose my voice after this one. Student section is cheering on every possession. O'Neal almost lost it. Trojans will reshot, 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Both teams strong zone defense, as you've seen it. Anderson gets the roll. That's not really Jack Anderson's spot right there, but he got it to fall with a nice little touch. He led the team in scoring against Redwood with 14. Gaucho's patient, Jake Lee, getting the call from the Gaucho bench. The drive by and then the drop by Sabels, who couldn't handle it, and he's had some early issues so far. Gauchos will make a change. Soretti is out. And 2:31 remaining here in the first quarter. It is Trojans 11, Casa 7. Alice is patient. O'Neal looking into Anderson. He was double teamed. Now that's going to be a strategy you're going to see as the Gauchos get the turnover there. Redwood did a good job of it when Anderson's really started to excel. What a move to the rack there by Garakowski, who's such an athletic player, the point guard. The up and under, and he almost got it to go. I'll take 2 from the line, but (11-7) as he looks to chip into the lead. Trojans student section clapping vigorously. He hits the first. Another change as Bucky will enter and Cole out for the Gauchos. He hits both, 11-9. And the Trojans, they're going to have to hit their threes if Anderson is really limited inside there. And Redwood helped that, and the Trojans went into a huge drought that helped them to lose the game. Over and back there on Gottschall, who could not handle it. And now, some yelling on the other side. And I believe technical was given out to Gottschall. It's hard to hear, hard to see in here. But yeah, Gottschall at the attack, and now the Casa student section trying to remind him about it. Great play by O'Neal to poke it away. So much pressure. You got 10 players on the court, and you got 300 students either screaming at you in disdain or cheering you on in the stands. O'Neal almost lost it. 1:30 left. Ellis hit a 3. Gottschall got the first 6 points for the Trojans. Great move to Anderson, and he just goes right through the double team. So aggressive there, and the Trojan fans so happy at that. Hit right on the face, was he as well. 11-9, 1:26 to go. And Anderson, who's been excellent from the free throw late, will head in. Anderson's first free throw is good. 12-9. Robert Holmes will enter. Ellis will take a seat, and Holmes had a wonderful game against Redwood. Was in a lot, made some really strong plays. Trojans really got out on the break in that one, and they really excelled. And Holmes was a big part of that. I actually talked to him after the Redwood game. You can check out that interview on one of our daily morning announcements or in the full complete Redwood game, likely right where you found this one. Anderson sinks both, and Trojans' free throw shooting was an issue last year. It has been so excellent so far. They missed just 2 against Redwood. They were, I believe, 8 of 10, and perfect so far tonight, 4-4. More backcourt defense, which has been an interesting approach by the Trojans. Not something that we've seen most of the year, but looking something to unnerve the Gauchos, who've had their scoring issues for much of this season. What a great move. And the lay-in pass by Bailey, lay-in by Brodsky. And that was indefensible, that play. 13-11. Brodsky only a sophomore, is the only sophomore on the Gauchos. And the Gaucho student section letting everyone in this gym know that. Under a minute to go. Trojans 13, Gauchos 11. This has been a hard, physical, but an absolutely ball of a game to start. It signals being closed because you just can't imagine the energy in this gym. Anderson almost falls over backwards, and they call a foul. Anderson is bailed out there. He was out of control. He just threw it behind him and hoped that he would get the call, and indeed he did on that one. He hit his first 2 from the line. Shot clock will be turned off with 32.7 left. When the Gauchos get it back, the senior Anderson gets the roll. And it's a senior clad team. You have 4 out of 5 seniors on the court, and with the exception of Izetta, you will not see very many non-seniors out there, as experienced this Trojan team is. So they're used to atmospheres like this. Was like this last year. The Trojans' 15-point victory over the Gauchos. It was also raucous like this. Trojans pulled away and really had revenge on their mind. It was just 3 days after their Brett Callahan loss. A lighter press there, but Gauchos have had a few chop passes, and they are calling it tight tonight on O'Neill. Maybe not too big of a surprise. They're calling it really tight. You just don't want to let anything get out of hand in an environment like this. I bet the refs were not too excited when they were given the assignment for this one, knowing they would have a lot of people yelling at them if they messed up. 4-point lead for the Trojans. This is good press, or good inbounding defense by the Trojans. And the black uniforms, that's the road. They wear white at home. Do like those a little bit better. Good move by Seibels until he lost it. Too much ball movement for his own move. He dives on the floor. We'll have the jump. The arrow is pointing the Trojans' way. And Trojans will have 7.9 seconds shot clock turned off to do something with the lead at 4. Gottschall's been big so far. They've laid it inside, but Anderson's thought through a lot of physicalness, and there continues the ticky-tack. Not a good foul on the Gauchos. That was on Nobbin. And you're just ticky-tack on the inbounds. You can't afford that. Both teams have 6 fouls, so we could be shooting a lot of free throw shooting on the line in the second quarter. 7, you're in the 1-on-1 bonus. 5 seconds left. They get it to Anderson. And what a great move. Rising up, and he collapsed towards the bench. Trojans take a 7-2-11 lead, and that is what they need. I'm sorry, people are standing up out of your way. The student section is going. It's Petaluma 17, Casa 11. Gaucho ball to start the second quarter. 17-11, Trojans with the lead. I almost threw that away. This is the zone defense, and it's clearly giving the Gauchos trouble. They've had some nice cutting passes. That's been about it, and they're not a three-point shooting team. Rejected by Anderson. And he just says, shakes his head and says, that's not going up there. Anderson had a ferocious dunk against Redwood right after the Giants had a dunk, and he responded, and that's his attitude. He will get extremely motivated. Battle on the boards. Anderson rejects it again. Jack Anderson is sending everything back. They finally get Anderson outside of the point, and Seibels, only a sophomore, but you're seeing why he's on varsity, lays it in. Him and Soretti have been the 2 best players so far for the Gauchos. Gottschall O'Neill play this entire game. And Koch Bears did not underestimate the Gauchos as Anderson's 3 is off after the Redwood game. Asked them, may have some maybe weaker opponents coming up based on record. How do you keep the level of intensity that they missed against the Novato team they beat last year? And Anderson continues to oppose as well. He said, hey, No, Costa's a good team. They almost beat San Marin, and then San Marin battled Cardinal Newman in the championship game of the Rose Tourney where the Trojans played at. 3-ball off the mark there by Seibels, and then another jump ball. The arrow will continue to point towards the Trojans. Izette has played a lot, and he might not show up on the stat sheet, but a reliable ball handler. He's going to get the offense started. O'Neill got it poked out by Seibels. What a bundle of positive energy he is. So much great support, no doubt. And O'Neill throws it back into Anderson, who, after the yearly Devin Gottschall show, has been the star of the show in the center of the Trojans offense once again. Oh, what a pretty step back by Brendan O'Neill. Captain last year only as a junior, and so much scoring, so pivotal to the team last year, and he has just so much talent. Apologize you can't see in that far left corner, but Trojan student section is going to be standing this whole game, and they're just blocking the view a little bit. Seibels driving in. He's in a forest of Trojans and lays it. It's Seibels, my apologies, and you can tell he has a talent. 21-15 Trojans lead. Under 6 to go here in the second quarter. It's the Varsity Boys Basketball League Bowl here from the Casa Grande High Gym here on Trojan Live. Full game. Gottschall gets his own rebound and lays it in. Great effort from Gottschall, and a couple offensive boards allowed on both times, but especially for the Gauchos who have been struggling to score. Just feels like they cannot afford that at all. What a move by Soretti, but he was out of control. And look at head coach Scott Bears and his assistant, Father John. They were pumped up there, and Gottschall is lipping, but what an effort he did there. Soretti was charging, and he got a little too excited, but when a player's out of control like that, you just want to step in and take the charge, and he's going to come out here, and we got a wet spot to clean up, but that was so impressive. And the coaches aren't going to be excited if you hit the game-winning three, but if you step up and take a charge there and you see it coming, that is what is going to energize everyone. And you saw it right there. This game maybe in half is even a little more meaning after the Egg Bowl in football returned after 5 years, and the Trojans won that. I think the Gauchos are eager to get some bragging rights back. Foul there. And Izetta is fouled by Jovic. And now we talked about those bonuses going up, and Jovic's going to have to come out with 5 fouls. That's 8 fouls on the Gauchos. Trojans are in the 1-and-1 bonus and still 5-11 left, and they could pretty soon be in the double bonus, and they could be living at the line, especially as the great free-throw shooting team that they are. Izetta's 3-throw is good. It's 24-15. The lead is 9, and Trojans have just pulled in front here. No good. Offensive board. Anderson, and a lot of offensive boards given up tonight by the Gauchos, and the Trojans have taken advantage. Not that time for Jack Anderson. 5 minutes to go here. Gauchos try to hit something on offense. I've not got a lot going. It's pretty much all go through Garrett Sabels, who's only a sophomore. Seen a couple nice moves by Garakowski and a couple others on the Gauchos, but as much as they played some good teams, you can understand if they put it all together, they can have a lot of talent, but this offense just often does not have a lot to go here. It runs through Seibels, and he will head to the line for 2. Apologize for not being live, but tried to go live on Friday night at the Varsity Girls Basketball Bowl, which cost a 1, and we're unable to, so had a full broadcast, but not live, so this is similar, as just not able to connect to the Wi-Fi server here in Casa. But we will be back live next Tuesday when the Trojans face Napa in the home gym. So check that out on our YouTube channel live at 7 o'clock. And plenty more live streams in league play and so on through the course of the year. 27-14. Trojans lead by 7. Pump fake by Gottschall. And it was tipped out, excuse me, by the Gauchos. Remain Trojan ball, and they get a reset shot clock here. It's Ellis, Wolbert, Gottschall, Robert Holmes, who we haven't seen much, and he's been in this entire quarter, along with Teddy Critchett, who just entered the center, and he's not going to play it on. Had a pretty nice move. Actually, against Redwood, he put 2 points up on the board, and he can use his size inside, which you're just not going to see too many other players. And Holmes takes it. He's an aggressive player. Critchett's not super confident in there, but Ellis wide open. They got the decoy. That's what they wanted, but just could not hit. And now a foul on the Trojans. 2 free throws for Garakonski. That's the first. And 24-18. 4:11 to go here, and students have not stopped rocking, even though we're well into this game. Little press here by the Gauchos. Trojans have not really been unnerved by any presses. They're too experienced for that with all their seniors, all their returners from the squad. So talented, and the SCL Championship's a goal, but beating Costa's a goal every year as well, so just so much behind this. Gottschall is patient. And the Trojans have it down to 10, but Gottschall got the moves, and you just get patient there, and there seems to be some holes for the Trojans in this defense, and they have found them so far. They haven't shot the 3 too great so far, just 2 hit, but they've really lived on the line. Now 9 fell on the Gauchos, and that has been very effective. And you just keep on going to the well, and Gottschall and Anderson have been it for the Trojans. And when you're shooting the free throws this good, I mean, you can just be absolutely automatic, and the Trojans have not missed a free throw yet. Cole comes out, Brodsky back in, and you also get into foul trouble. Talked about a couple players in 3 or 2 on the Gauchos, and we're barely halfway through this second quarter. 26-19 after Gottschall hits both. He has 8 tonight. He'll be in double digits easy, and could see another double-double game like he had against Novato 2 weeks ago. And offensive foul called on Soretti using the elbow, and they've called that all night long. Good defense, though, by Ellis. Head coach Scott Bayer's boys, he improved this Petaluma program, and it's sort of a litmus test where it is if you can meet Casa. Are you the elite basketball program in Petaluma? And he has changed the culture that was really struggling in Petaluma varsity boys basketball. That was dominated by the Gauchos. Best basketball players went to Casa as Holmes turns it over, but that has started to change now. Now they go to Petaluma, and every Egg Bowl victory is another affirmation of that change. Open is Seibles, and you can't leave Seibles open. He is just way too good of a player for that, and he might only be a sophomore, but oh, he's confident. O'Neal's confident too. Maybe a little too much. It just grazed the rim. 26-22. Trojans have led by as much as 8. Casa has led by as much as 1. Trojans have led for the majority of this half, but haven't really been able to pull away. Aggressive move ahead to Wolbert. Great break, but Wolbert just couldn't finish, and there were too many bodies to get around there. Probably just wanted to pass that one out. That was an extremely challenging play there. Drive, pull up, off the mark, and it will remain Gaucho ball with 2:20 left here in this second quarter. 26-22 the score. Gauchos will take it out, and both teams in the bonus now, 9 and 8 fouls respectively. It's Soretti backing in on Wolbert. You don't see that too much with 2 guards backing in, but Wolbert pokes it out. And one thing, Trojans actually have a rare advantage in size. Casa's size is not strong at all. And The Trojans were that side after losing senior Joey Potts from last year. Their star center now playing at Oregon Technical. Somehow it was Sullivan who couldn't finish. And then a foul on Sullivan, and the Trojans will take it back over, and they'll get 2 at the line. But 26-22. And Gottschall will have another 2, and he can get into double digits here in this first half. Potts now at Oregon Technical University, and says Casa has learned Devin Gottschall's name. And playing on a salty from a complaint to the ref. Gottschall gives them a look, but you know that's not gonna bother him too much. He hits, and he has not missed from the line, so he is taking that motivation, and you've seen it from both sides when things have gotten tough so far in this one, that they've channeled that motivation. And Gauchos aren't inexperienced, which is going to hurt them. They lost a fair amount of seniors from last year, which was still struggling here. Soretti out. Trojans apply a press, 28-22. Gottschall's got 10. Anderson, don't have official statistician, it's got to be 6 or 8 now. And they have dominated in the paint so far, and the Gauchos have no answers. We'll see at halftime if it makes any difference. 2 minutes until that. Trojans lead by 6. They'd love to stretch us out a little more. Defense has been very strong all night. It's really been Seibles, and it continues to be Seibles. Well, he is the only offense, and right now for the Trojans, you feel like you double team, triple team him, and just try to get the ball out of Garrett Seidel's hands, because Casa can't really go anywhere else. But Seibles, what a talent he is. And we're going to be seeing him many more years in this rivalry, and probably shining. That was a really tough shot for Anderson, but he gets bailed out with the foul, and it's been frustrating for Casa. Some of these fouls called tonight. Foul on Buskey, his 3rd, and these fouls are racking up. This could be a serious issue if this is close in the 4th. You could see Gauchos fouling out right and left, and all of a sudden, reserves that haven't played on a varsity game before end. 29-22. Well, Seibles decided that Casa was still where he wanted to go. No basketball decision. Obviously, other decisions are made. Baseball player, he might have to Casa too. Not the Trojans have two top baseball teams in the state on both sides, but Casa almost won NCS last year. 1 point ranked 3rd in the state. Really nice spin move by Garakowski, who has some really nice post moves on some drives. We've already seen one, but hasn't been able to finish. Head coach Scott Bears wants to calm down the Trojans. Maybe get one final push here before the half ends. It's Trojans 30, Gauchos 24. 30-24, Trojans lead. O'Neal couldn't get it to fall, and it's just been off a lot tonight. Hasn't been able to get it to go. It's been the last few games, but he will contribute in other ways. There's just no doubt about it. Casa swung it around. They've had good ball movement, but besides Seibles, they haven't found anything. However, they found everything through Garrett Seibles, and now it's a 4-point game, and that has kept them in this game. Seibles has to be close to 15 now. Unbelievable how well. Gottschall's played well, and he continues it. The roar from Gottschall as he hits a huge 3, and just like that, it is a 7-point lead for the Trojans. Shot clock turned off. That was huge with the Gauchos cutting this lead after the Trojans have really been the better team in this first half. 20 seconds left here. Gauchos very patient, as they need to be. Don't want to run down this clock and take the last shot. And again, another play for Seibles. He finally misses, gets his own rebound, doesn't know where to go with it, finds Garakowski well off, tipped out, will stay Gaucho ball. 1.4 left on the clock here in this first half, and Trojans have to read those plays for Seibles. It was a clear pick and roll for Seibles, and he still got open and turned out missing that one, but that cannot last for the Trojans. If the Gauchos have to look otherwise for Seibles, I don't know if they have someone to step up. Trojans on the other end have a plethora of options, even if the Gauchos can shut down inside. And bobbled by Seibles. Do they call? That is it for the first half. 33-16, 33-26. The Trojans lead by 7. They outplayed the Gauchos, but Gareb Seibles for the Gauchos has kept them in this. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. It's Petaluma Trojans 33, Casa Grande 26 here in the Varsity Boys Basketball Egg Bowl from the Casa Grande gym. Almost time for the second half at a pretty funny moment as the students were getting restless during halftime, and Trojan student section, member got pumped up. They started yelling. Member took a flag and started racing around the Casa gym. Casa decided they had to do something about it, so one of the members of their student section raced out and sort of laid in the way of the Trojan, who then almost tripped. The flag got a little tuggled up, but he kept his way. But good fashioned battling between these two fans. The battle resume on court. Trojans lead by 7, and right now it's been key right now, I think, on both sides is Gareb Seibels. He's actually a junior, a correction on that, but don't believe he's on varsity last year. 6'1", 170 pounds, number 24. He has, I think, half the Gauchos' points at least. He has been absolutely dominant tonight, and the Gauchos with only 3 seniors on their squad. They don't have a lot to look, not too many returning players. So it's a huge event for the Trojans as we're starting the third. Trojans have pretty much exclusively played their starters, or their seniors here tonight, with the exception of Izetta, who's a returner. They have not played a single player any minutes that was not on varsity last year, which is Coach Bears knowing that you need that experience and that poise of a varsity season this game. Trojans will get the ball after a nice play by Trey Davis. The senior hasn't played a lot, forced it out. Trojans might look for a few more three-pointers, knowing that even with the size deficiency, the Gauchos are going to have to try to clog the inside and limit Anderson and Gottschall, who made a living, especially at the line, in that first half. Walbert, Davis, O'Neal, Gottschall, and Anderson, the 5 out there for the Trojans. They go right back to Anderson, really a light double team, and I mean, if you're just going to if Gauchos are not going to stop that, you throw the ball into Jack Anderson, the tallest player on the court at 6'4", 175, and the senior can just go to the line and hit 3 throws all night long, and that's what he did in the first half. He misses his first there. Trojans are coming off a very narrow loss to Redwood, but they really played really well against a good team. Just had a drought late, but could be worried about that. They cannot afford a drought late in this one, 4 minutes to go, especially with the way this gym could start rocking if the Gauchos go on any bit of a run. But the lead is now 8:34 to 26, 7:20 left to go here in the third quarter. It's the Varsity Boys Basketball Egg Bowl from the Casa Grande gym. Good ball movement, and he was open. Instead, they'll give it to Soretti, who's well off the mark. He had a good first quarter, but since then, Ian Soretti has not looked good. Gottschall from the elbow, and he has been cool as a cucumber tonight. And the Trojans have their biggest lead. It is double digits, 36 to 26. Davis knocked back, no call there. We'll see if the refs continue to call tight. It did rack up a lot of fouls and made this game a little bit choppy in the first half, but it's not the ref's job to make a game look pretty. Gauchos reset, trying to find a solution to what has been really offensively a struggle for much of this ball game. Driving it in, rejected by Jack Anderson. That is his 4th block tonight. And again, saying you cannot go in there. And the Gauchos have not been able to get too many drives with the SWAT king, Jack Anderson, running around inside there. The Gauchos don't like taking outside shots. They've, I don't believe, have attempted a 3 tonight. That was a really nice move there by Josh Jovic, who stepped back. His older sister, I believe Jay Jovic, was a really outstanding member of the varsity girls basketball team. I believe that just graduated last year. 3 ball from O'Neal is good. The Trojan student section popped up, and the lead is 11. O'Neal's second 3 of the evening, and he may go, and he had a few during the second half warm-ups. Travel there on the Gauchos. Another turnover on Casa. And one big improvement this year for the Trojans has been the lack of turnovers. It was a huge issue last year when they finished 16-13, 8-4 in SCL, and second in the tournament, third in SCL overall, as Anderson's jumper is well off the mark. Does not want to shoot out there. That's where the Gauchos want him. But Trojans had turnover issues, and that was a struggle, especially against teams like Annalee and Healdsburg I couldn't beat. But this year, they're hoping they can beat Annalee. And the way they've been playing of late, they can't have a game like against Novato, but they can certainly win. Athletic move from Davis. Just couldn't finish. He's more of a three-point shooter, but looked like a nice play to try to reach in there and get the ball, but they're going to call a foul on the Trojans. And it will be Gaucho ball. Trojans will imply a press here. Gauchos have had a few turnovers, and when your team's more or less experienced, you expect that. And the Trojans are the far more experienced team tonight here. So huge. Garakowski, one of those few seniors, and we continues to have a really nice move to the basket, but another charge taken by Devin Gaucho, who's pumped up, and he's got a yell of taunt from the student section. And there, a great play again to step in and make the stop. And he has played almost this entire game. He has to be very exhausted, but he has played so well. We'll get a mop-up duty on the other end, a light press applied here. So far, Seibels has been quiet in this start of the second half. That would be absolutely huge. And if Seibels can't score, I don't know where the Gauchos are going to get it from. Gaucho patient. Back to O'Neill. Last year's captain. Wilbert also the starting quarterback of the varsity football team. Oh, if that had gone down, it would have been vintage offensive board by Wilbert. He adds to the line. What great effort by the 5'10", 155-pound senior guard. Driving in with the athletic move. And they've had a plethora of offensive boards. And for the Trojans, they forced turnovers and gotten offensive boards. And it's been vice versa for Casa. It's hard to win a basketball game like that if you're the Gauchos. Wilbert misses the free throw. Trojans have made up for the scoring deficiencies they had against Redwood when they only put 46 on the board. Already up to 39. Under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Wilbert can't hit either there. Well, if the Gauchos need to foul later, they might have just found suspect number 1. There is Seibels. Tight defense by O'Neill, and looks like they might have O'Neill on him permanently. Best defender on the Trojans, and stolen away by Brendan O'Neill, looking for Seibels. Great pass to Davis. He was patient and laid it in. That is how you do it on a fast break. Timeout, Gauchos. And the student section is going. That is how you be patient by Davis, waiting for the defenders to fly by. Laid it in, 41-28. Trojans lead by 13 here. Section still going with the chairs. And Gauchos will inbound it, trailing by 13. They only have 2 points in this first half, and they need points now. Gauchos shedding, this is their house, but they trail by 13 in their big house. Seibels wanted to take it. I'm sorry, that was not Seibels. Oh no, that was Seibels. My apologies. Seibels 24. Led the Gauchos in scoring. Very impressive. Seibels lost it. The pass a little bit too hot, and another turnover by the Gauchos here in the second half. And that is an issue that they will have to clean up, or they are going to not win this spirited ball game. Athletic move by Wilbert, can't finish. But Gauchos poked it out last. Will stay Trojan ball. Raucous atmosphere the whole game. Good, I'd say about 150 on both, 150 students on both sides. Turns out numbering a little bit. Another offensive board. O'Neill couldn't finish another time though. And the offensive boards in abundance. Finally stepping on the line was Gottschall. And we will have a timeout here. 3:42 to go. 41-28, Trojans lead. Trojan student section chanting Egg Bowl, reminding them of the thrilling victory 20-14 in the varsity football game. It was a couple months ago, and it was a huge victory for the football team after was with the 5-year vacancy of not playing the game after teams are in separate leagues. And then the Trojans hadn't won for the 3 straight years before that they'd play as O'Neal loses it out of bounds. Gauchos take over. But the Trojans finally get a victory, first in 8 years, and it was really a thrilling one also here at Casa. And you can check it out on our YouTube channel. The full game is there, along with the JV game as well. Speaking of JV, the JV boys basketball game for the Trojans, they remained undefeated, defeating Casa for the second time. They faced them in the Wayne Douglas tournament as Seibels gets his first points on the putback, 41-30 Trojans. And Trojan JV team faced Casa in the Wayne Douglas tournament, beat them, and then again here, they won again. So as Anderson's double move lays it in, they keep on going back to the well, 13-point lead. It's been success for the Trojan JV team so far, and a lot of talent next year, even with all the loss of seniors. Well, Seibels is saying, I gotta step up here and start scoring. With the biggest lead, it was for the Trojans was 13, back down to 11 there. Seibels with the last 4 after he hadn't scored in this quarter. Anderson has been unstoppable at points, and a little shimmy, puts up his hands. I don't think I can be stopped, just keep on giving it to me. He has really improved this year from last year. It was the compliment to Joey Potts. But this year, the Gauchos haven't guarded him, and even an elite team like Redwood with bigger players had issues with them. And no shot on the foul. Gauchos will take it out of bounds. Foul's less of a factor here, as there are 3 fouls on the Gauchos, and that is just the second on the Trojans. Substitutions on both sides. Holmes will enter along with Ellis, who did it at 3. He's been relatively quiet, though. I just don't know if he's going to have that role that we maybe thought he was going to have after his really exciting game of the season opener against Terra Lindo, where he scored 14. It was trapped, was Cole, and then he just gave the ball to Davis. Trojans lead by 13, 2 minutes left to go here. Varsity Boys Basketball Egg Bowl. What a thriller it's been. You can check out all the other Varsity Boys basketball game and girls basketball game, including the girls Egg Bowl. It's a tough loss for the Petaluma Trojans, who've been rebuilding, and that was a tie game at the third, pretty much at the third quarter. Gauchos hit a key buzzer beater at the end of the third, and then pulled away in the fourth for the victory. Good defense by Holmes, and he got a finger in there. He got poked in the eye, and he is hurt. Seibel spins. They're going to stop play, though, because Robert Holmes, who had a really nice play, poked in the eye. He's going to have to take a seat, probably, but he is leaving it all out there. He has really improved so much, and they're actually going to call foul on it as he was poked in the eye. Coach Bears wants him out, and Robert says, hey, I'm only getting 1 egg bowl. I want to stay in and make the advantage of the last 9 minutes of this one. Holmes improved so much with the ball in his hand. See it with the nice spin moves there. Izetta back in. Gottschall thought about it. But Trojans patient. They can afford some time. Wallace was wide open on that play. Didn't see him, but another foul, and they're trying to double team Anderson right now, but it is just not happening for the Gauchos, and Jake Lee has tried, the Gauchos' young coach, but right now Coach Bears, his assistants John Bears, Nick Iacopi, Steve Meyert have outcoached him as the Trojans have outplayed the Gauchos, but this is not over. A 13-point lead. 1:20 left to go here in the third. Trojans are at Vintage on Friday night. Should be a good one against the Crushers, who the Trojans will be in the same league along with the Gauchos next year. So the Egg Bowl will happen two times next year in both boys and girls basketball, with the teams joining the same league with league realignment. Crazy play there. Good save by Holmes. Gottschall with the spin. Decides to take it himself. He had Anderson open. Got to be more unselfish there. Good defense there. Gauchos take back over and head the other way. Wide open under the hoop. And that was the nice patient play. We saw Davis do it before there. And that was the patience by Sullivan, who's a senior, one of the only 3 seniors to lay it in. That excited the Gaucho fans, but they still trail by 11. 14-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Trojans would like to go 2 for 1. Izetta looking for his first points, Cadet. And not enough time. The shot clock turns off. Under 30. The nice backup moves. And the little foul on Alice there. Some nice play by Brodsky. Ellis is third. He needs to be careful now. Gauchos will win back to 27 seconds left. It's Petaluma 45, Casa 35, and offense has slowed down a little bit in this third quarter. And this has been great inbounding defense all day long by the Trojans. They've had some issues. They get it to Star Brodsky. And another nice move by Siebels. Gauchos running down the clock. Trojans giving the wrong time to try to confuse the Gauchos. They're not that inexperienced, and they have shown how that they can poise under pressure, and they've done this late here. A nice pull-up. The clock will run out. Good play by Garakowski, and Trojans look like maybe they'd pull it away. They led by 14, but as we head to the fourth quarter, it's Petaluma 45, it's Casa Grande 36, and we've got a single-digit game as we head to the raucous fourth quarter here in the Casa Grande gym for IC Boys Basketball League Ball. Trojan ball to start the fourth. Izetta, O'Neill, Holmes, Gottschall in, and Anderson in for the Trojans. Garakowski, along with Sullivan, Cole, Soretti, and Seibels, the five in for the Gauchos. Gottschall goes in, good defense there, could not finish, and what a steal by O'Neill. He lost it. Holmes has got it. He's got to get it out of there, and they called a travel. I don't know about that one. Holmes doesn't like it either. Big call there. What a great effort by O'Neill. And he actually did that against Redwood. Trojans looked like the game was over. O'Neill stole it and gave them a chance when they were trailing by 5, and they got a chance at 2 free throws. It didn't turn out to make a difference, but a good move. And now Holmes is called for another ticky-tack foul, and they have continued to call them. Only the second on Holmes and the fourth on the team, and only 4 on the Gauchos. So free throws should not be as much of a factor here, at least team-wise, going to the bonus. Holmes will take a seat, and it will be Wolbert that will re-enter for him. All seniors out there for the Trojans, with the exception of Izetta, who returns from last year. Gauchos continue to be patient. They haven't panicked, trailing by 9. They've trailed by as much as 14 today. Trojans have led pretty much the entire game except for a couple first seconds. Good steal by Gottschall. And the Trojans have had a lot of good hands in there and forced a lot of turnovers tonight. That has been huge, and just had more offensive issues for the Gauchos all night long when they're not going to Seibels. Back to Gottschall. They're going to single team him, not as effective in the post, and you see it, but he gets his offensive rebound, and he lays it in. And these offensive rebounds are insurmountable if you're the Gauchos. They try to swing it fast to Sullivan. Good get-back defense. Garakowski started to feel it. He has hit his last 2 jumpers from the same spot. Gauchos answer. 47-38, under 7 to go here in the fourth quarter. Varsity Boys Basketball League Bowl. Trojans have controlled this game, but the fourth quarter is truly where it counts. They haven't been able to pull away. Izetta liked the way that looked, but he just left it short. Another offensive board. Gottschall open, does not get the bounce. And then O'Neill with a good effort trying to save it, couldn't get it. And Garakowski, interesting choice to exit after he got hot. And that will mean that Jovic will enter. Trojans again apply a press and done a great job forcing these turnovers tonight. And it's been traumatic for the Gauchos and running their offense, and they've struggled shooting, and now the Gauchos will have to call timeout. More good press defense. You can see Brendan O'Neill pumped up. The student section is ready to go as well. They are looking for a 3rd straight victory in this Egg Bowl. They lead 47-38. Trojans again applying a press, and the Gauchos continuing to have trouble with it. They get into Soretti, who had a good first few minutes, and since then, one of the 3 seniors has disappeared. 9-point lead for the Trojans. We'll be catching up with 2 stars of the game afterwards. Check in. And stay tuned for those interviews. It should be fun, especially if the Trojans win. Another ticky-tack foul there. O'Neill goes for the steal. You just don't need that. No, they forced a lot of turnovers, but fouls are not helpful here he let the Gauchos take their sweet time, leading by 9, and continue to play the good defense they have. They've limited them only to 38 points tonight. Gauchos will Thursday night start their Brett Callahan tournament. Trojans have played that the last few years, but not invited back this year. Maybe didn't want to have the Trojans and the Gauchos play again. They played a lot. They will open against Annalee, who the Trojans will, of course, see twice. Their big net assist in SCL on a really nice move to the rack by A.J. Cole. And they struggled inside. Anderson's been a big force in there, so they've really not gotten much in there. But that was a nice play by the sophomore Cole, 47-40. Anderson pulls up, he thought about it, and swish! Jack Anderson, what a game tonight. He has continued to excel, and just like that, the lead right back up to double digits, 50-40. Under 5 to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Trojans in control. We have a foul on the Trojans. On Davis, who's not happy about it. Critchett, who's just re-entered, tells him to calm down, and Coach Ray is continuing to trust that senior leadership. Trojans 2-3 on the year, ranked 700th in California, 16th in NCS Division II at the moment, but we'll likely see changes to that as it goes on if the Trojans continue to get victories. Brief appearance for Critchett. He leaves, and Gottschall, all he got was a quick rest. Gottschall and Anderson, they've needed them in the middle. There's not a lot of backups in size. Kenny Alexander, an eligible transfer from Cardinal Newman, will be eligible at the end of December, so the end of this month when league play starts. Davis out, trying to calm down. Ellis enters. So that will be some help for the side for the Trojans, but really don't have a lot of places to go. Holmes can play forward sometimes, but will be an issue next year dealing with size. The Trojans obviously not thinking about that too much. You have all seniors on the floor right now. Gauchos are going to have to pick up the pace. They still trail by 10. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck on the foul game, and they have not made three-pointers all night, which obviously does not help. Cole. And we have not seen a whole lot as the Gauchos throw it away. We have not seen a whole lot from Seibels. Trojans have done a much better job limiting him, the junior star, in the second half. And just, I believe, 6 points. And the Gauchos have found a couple other options for scoring, but the Trojans have been able to lengthen out that lead slowly but surely, patiently. Just watched it grow, and now they just need to hold it here for another 4 minutes. And they will take another football egg bowl, the boys basketball egg bowl. Gottschall Trap calls timeout. And we'll try for baseball this year. Certainly we'll have a good team, and that would be the trilogy sweep, at least on the big boy sports side. Looking for their first league title since 1992. Won't factor in this one, but Casa will be in league next year, as you mentioned, with the realignment. And we're in an NCS from 2009 to 2015, and they didn't beat the Gauchos in all of those years. But now under head coach Scott Bears, they've returned to NCS. They're looking for their third straight appearance this year, which would be the first time they've done that since probably back in the 80s when Back to the Future was #1 on the movie list. Back to the Future, they hope it will be for the Trojans, including a third straight Egg Bowl victory along with NCS. Maybe they just match up a little bit. Trojans would hope for a higher seed, maybe could host a game. They were last year 14th seed and really had no chance against Moore Catholic, who went on to win the league title. Shot clock running down. O'Neal driving. Offensive board by Anderson. And the offensive boards have been huge tonight. Anderson and Gottschall and others have crashed the boards. And it's just been unstoppable for the Gauchos. Their student section really starting to quiet down their Seibels. Off the mark, and he's gone cold. Has gotten less playing time of late. Ellis takes it. We're under halfway through this fourth, and the Trojans will be akin to just run some slow pace and continue to extend this comfy lead. They have systematically controlled the Gauchos tonight. Try to get it to Wolbert. Good defense there, and they will reset. O'Neal on the pick and roll. Gottschall open. Got it. That just might be the nail in the coffin. Hands up on the Trojan bench. All of a sudden, a 15-point lead. It is the biggest lead of the game. The people in green and gold really starting to quiet down. And a huge silencer there. I'll see if the Gauchos have any answer, but have not been able to get much going there. Good move by Garakowski to bank it in. Under 3 to go, 55-42. Trojans looking to get back to 500 on the year before Vintage and Napa. And along with Sandra Fallon would like to win out that stretch. And then head into a Clovis tournament, which will be a really good test as we have substitutions on both sides with a bunch of D1 teams. And that will be a great test before league play. So games are important like these to the NCS, who will look especially at the non-conference game, especially with the Trojans playing in this SCL. That's so-so. Not going to really impress the NCS committee to talking about getting that high seed. Under 3 to go. Good ball movement. They get it to Seibels. Baseline J is good. Jake Lee almost out on the court. You think you could see him there trying to get the Gauchos back, but Trojans have no issue breaking a light press. Step back O'Neal is short. Davis pulls down a board. Gottschall thought about launching a 3, then thought better about it. He just want to run down some clock. Anderson! Thank you very much! There's the throwdown, the exclamation point, the cherry on top, the student section going bananas. It's a second straight dunk for Jack Anderson. They're going to have to clean up a wet spot from that. And the Trojans student section is hopping. Anderson said, "This is our house tonight, and I'm not moving home without leaving one dunk." And everyone in this gym will remember a ferocious throwdown by Anderson, who has gotten to that height at 6'4", where he can do that. We saw Joey Potts at 6'8" last year. Anderson 6'4", do that almost every single game, but saw Anderson do it against Redwood, does it again. He might make it his own tradition, and pretty intimidating. Little step back J is good from Jovic. Another light press, but under 2 minutes to go here. The Trojans are going to get an impressive victory. Head coach Scott Bears wants timeout. This is one to remember. Anderson tried to get away from Teddy Critchen, who's so excited. 57-46, 1:33 to go here. All Trojans. Trojans, loud cheers. Gauchos just mostly quiet from their student section, long faces, and will be a third straight Egg Bowl victory. Still have the starters out there, 11-point lead. Want to make sure to close it out, but get a chance. It'd be nice to put in some of the juniors who will be in the Egg Bowl position back at actually twice next year when they are in league play, so both at the Petaluma gym and at the Casa gym. And certainly be much of a challenge, and they won't look forward to seeing Seibels again, who really kept the Gauchos in this game. Speaking of Garib, he gets a steal. Oh, and then he tried to dunk it, and he missed. Oh, no. And he's not happy with himself. A poor decision there. He is not that tall to do that. Seibels 6'1", and you gotta have some serious haps for Garrett to get it up there, and couldn't get it. He's trying to laugh it off. And Davis, who's talking to him, he actually heads to the line. I'm not sure how in all that chaos. But that's the story of the night there with the Anderson dunk of the Seibels dunk. Trojans just some more talent, more experience in making the smarter plays. Seibels misses the free throw, and under 1:30 to go here, Trojans lead by 11. Light press, both starters stay in. Foul, O'Neal. Another Trojans one away from the bonus. Isn't going to matter here. Trojans league play starts on the 4th at LC Allen, and then the 6th they'll be back home against El Melito. We'll be live streaming it. Poked out, and Trojans will re-inbound it. And good to see you saw Davis and Seibels talking about it. Big thing about this, a lot of these players have played together, same teams or against each other, have known each other for long periods of time, and it really makes the Egg Bowl special when you have the two Petaluma teams, as we have a timeout by the Gauchos on the loose ball. And 1 minute to go here. Both of these players, they're probably going to know almost everyone on both sides, and that makes any Egg Bowl matchup special. In Casa and Petaluma always so intense both time as the Trojans chant football. the Gauchos chant payoff. I don't know what that means. And neither does the Gaucho student section. 57-46 as the Trojans all over the Gauchos. Really systematic. And this was not, it's a talented Gaucho team, and they were just too good really tonight. And Anderson and Gottschall controlled the post. The size was huge. And it's credit to Gottschall. Anderson really led it, but they were able to get it out to O'Neill. And when they didn't go inside as much the second half, they had other options: Davis, Holmes, O'Neill, and the plethora of options really helped that depth of 7 to 8 players. And the Gauchos didn't have that, and the Trojans won't that help against the Annalise and Healdsburgs and into NCS. Waiting for some maintenance here with 1 minute. Stay tuned for the interviews after the game. They should be a lot of fun. As the students should be spilling on the floor and celebrating, and we'll be talking to two of the stars tonight for the Trojans after their victory. Gauchos will fall to 1-5, and another rough season as Seibels hits a 3. However, Garrett Seibels, though, should be big and help them get a few more wins this year. And as Petaluma pride, you do maybe hope that. They really struggled last year, and MBL really a good league, better than SCL's. Foul on the Gauchos. Their Trojans will head to the line in the bonus now. And Gauchos, as we mentioned, won 4 games last year and just won in league play against Rancho. So I expect they get a few more. This was really a tougher game actually than last year for the Trojans, and I think the Trojans played better tonight and have a better team, but the Gauchos put up really a strong effort tonight, especially with Seibels, but a strong defense limited the Trojans at times, and they were able to find a couple other pieces second half to keep this one a ball game, but too much Gottschall, too much Anderson, a lot of turnovers and offensive rebounds. Trojans have done that all year long so far, except in that Nevada loss, and when you're getting turnovers, offensive boards, it is hard to be stopped, especially with Anderson and Gottschall, and if Ellis and O'Neill, Davis can be hitting their threes, this Trojan team can certainly be something we've not seen in maybe a long time on the west side. Offensive board, shot clock is turned off. Light press applied here, hard foul by Seibels. And Wolver head to the line, 23.7 left to go. So don't forget on Tuesday, week from today, on the 19th, to tune in at 7 o'clock against Napa. The Trojans will face, they beat the Crushers last year. It was a close game. We expect more of the same. Should be another good test for them. And live, it'll be finals week, 7 o'clock right here on Trojan Live YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel and get a notification whenever we go live, so make sure to subscribe if you've not already. You can like this video. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any. And we'll be doing, I believe, 5 or 6 more boys basketball live streams over the course of the year. The El Molino game, Annalee, Healdsburg, and Sonoma all will be live, and then we'll be covering some of their big road games. Annalee, potentially Healdsburg, off the mark. Anderson pulls it down. Clock down to 15. Trojans just need to break the press here. They do, and that should do it. They get it to Wolbert, 61-49. The Trojans will win here tonight. A 12-point victory, 3 straight egg bowl victories over Casa Grande. Scott Barrett's magic works, and the Purple West Side rules once again. Interviews are coming up next as the Raucous student section celebrates another Egg Bowl victory.
Here with 2 of the largest Trojan supporters, and what an exciting game tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was just a remake of the Egg Bowl right over again.
It was fantastic. Felt like Petaluma systematically dominated Casa for the entire game. How do you think they did that?
I think it was part of the student section. I mean, we were at Casa's home court, but it seemed like our home court. Petaluma student section was just, they were just overpowering.
3rd straight victory in a row in the regular season in the Egg Bowl for varsity boys basketball team. Has the balance of power in Petaluma basketball shifted to the west?
Yeah, definitely. Used to be on the east, but Petaluma's just been overpowering. I thought it was a great showing tonight by Jack Anderson.
We're just so dominant right now with Devin Gottschall on the post.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Griffin.
2 of our biggest Trojan supporters. They'll certainly be around. They'll be at the Annalee game in full force senior night. That's going to be the biggest of the big players. Will be coming right back out. It was a thrilling night here. As you want to join me, Michael? I think the camera won't fall off. And Well, first, you were leading the student section. You've worked up a sweat. What was that experience like?
Oh, it was great. We had a huge crowd. Everybody was really loud and into it, and we got the win, and that's all that matters.
Trojans felt like they were in control the entire game. Well, gets a talk from Principal Mr. Sturrett. Mr. Sturrett, this game had a lot of spirit tonight with the Egg Bowl. How important do you think that was?
The spirit was great. I thought both groups of fans, the student sections were awesome. It was great.
Here with Devin Gottschall after the Trojans get the huge Egg Bowl victory, and it was a rocking atmosphere here tonight. What was it like to get the win in this great atmosphere?
You know, it's always fun to play in the Egg Bowl, but to get the win just tops it off. Let's go.
Felt like Petaluma systematically controlled Casa most of the game, was in the league. How do you think the team did that?
Yeah, we just came out strong. Usually we come out a little flat, but this time we came out strong. We had a few mistakes, but I think we played harder than them. We hit our shots when we needed to, and we got the dub.
You and Jack have been dominating the post. Casa had no answer for you guys. How are you using that to your advantage?
It's just hard work. Hard work over the off season up till now. All 4 years of high school. Been leading up to this.
Finally, you're team captain, leader of the team. What are the responsibilities in that?
Just keep the team straight, get everyone to practice on time. But really, it's a great group of guys. It's really easy on us.
Thank you, Devin. We're with George Tynes after the Trojans' Egg Bowl victory, and what was the experience like in this crazy gym?
I mean, this gym, it was crazy, you know. Each time we scored, fans were crazy, man. We couldn't hear nothing when the coach was talking. It was crazy.
How do you think this will help the team as they build on their season to get a big emotional victory over their rival?
What do you say?
How does it help you get a big emotional victory over your rival? How do you think that will help propel the team forward?
Next game you come into, we're gonna come on a lot of emotion, motivation. That's how you say motivation. And
like you play Casa every game.
Yeah, like you playing Casa every game, man. We gotta take it like that. You know what I mean?
Thanks, George.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, still waiting on Jack Anderson, who takes a sweet time in the locker room. Doesn't love interviews, but got it, George. I've heard that he gives good interviews when he comes out. Hopefully, any moment now. Just thrilling atmosphere tonight. Trojans, the fans went all Baker Mayfield and planted the flag on the Casa logo. Hey, if that wins you the Heisman, I don't know, but that's an argument for another time. Trojans did really just systematically dominate the Gauchos tonight. They were in control. Felt like really the entire game, and Gottschall and Anderson were huge. They really could not stop them tonight, and that was pivotal. Here comes Jack Anderson. You were a force in the paint. Felt like Casa couldn't stop you. How did you get there, and what was that feeling like?
Oh, we've just been working since the fall. We've been putting in a bunch of work. So yeah, it's all added up now.
You had another dunk tonight, and you had one against Redwood after they had got a dunk. What was your feelings? Did you have a goal in getting a dunk after seeing Redwood, and do you plan to make dunking a habit?
I mean, it's not really a goal. It's just like if you get the opportunity, you're gonna take it. So that's what happened.
And the team gets the huge victory over Casa, third straight year. Do you feel like the power of basketball shifted west into Petaluma?
Yeah, definitely. Like we obviously got the better team, and we came out with the win. So that was a lot of fun. Also, shout out the student section. That was super.
Speaking of the student section, they were raucous tonight. How helpful were they in getting the victory tonight?
It's just like the best feeling in the world when you score or make a big play, and everybody just goes insane. So,
finally, how do you want to use this big victory to propel you guys forward as you try to get a league title?
We're just gonna keep playing well. That's the goal. Just keep busting, you know.
Thanks, Jack. All right, that is Jack Anderson. Thank you to Jack, Devin, and George for the interviews. Trojans control in the paint. The student section was rocking, as Jack said, and they were a big pick-me-up tonight. Michael Berryvelt did a great job leading them. What a thrilling victory for them. You certainly believe that this will propel them going forward. There'll be Vintage Friday night. We'll try to get out and cover it. We'll see, but we'll certainly be live streaming next Tuesday against Napa, 7 o'clock. Don't miss that. Don't miss all our boys basketball live streams, along with our varsity girls basketball live streams. That team is improving as well. Most of those games start at 7. They'll be announced on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe. You get an email whenever we go live. Certainly recommend that. Once again, thank you to everybody tonight. What a fantastic performance by the Trojans. They just were controlling this game, and everyone contributed just better than Casa. A third straight Egg Bowl victory as the power of balance, as they said multiple times, clearly shifted out west. Petaluma is the place to go if you want to play boys basketball. Thank you to everyone who helped out tonight. Fantastic game. Trojans get the victory by 12 tonight in the Egg Bowl. I'm Griffin Epstein. Thanks for tuning in. A very good night.